What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Broadway Joel. If you'd like to stay up to date with boxing news, please hit that subscribe button. And if you've been here before, thanks for coming back. So today we're going to talk about Prospect of the Year. We're living in the golden era. So there's a lot of top talent that I'm not going to talk about, but that doesn't mean I don't think they're a talented fighter or whatever. This is the golden era, and I'm going to narrow this down to three fighters who I think have the argument for potential prospect of the year. And at the end, I'll give you who my prospect of the year is out of those three. So the first we're going to talk about is Xander Zayas. Xander Zayas went 6-0 with 4 knockouts here. So he was very active, this guy. He's a young guy. He's only 19 years old. I saw him live at the Madison Square Garden fight. He was fighting on the undercard of Lomachenko Comey. This kid looked impressive, looked fast, crisp punches, accurate. He scored a first-round knockout. He couldn't have had a better performance in Madison Square Garden in front of a lot of Puerto Ricans. Yes, it was a mostly Ukrainian crowd, but a lot of Puerto Ricans showed up just to show love to Xander Zayas. And, man, I came away impressed. He fought 4 fighters with 1 loss. He fought 2 fighters with 3 losses. So he had, not necessarily a tough time of it, because some of those guys with 1 loss, you see them fight and you're like, I don't know, But some of those guys were like, okay, he got in tough a little bit. But he's only 19 years old. Remember that. The guy fought 6 times, won all 6, looked impressive in all 6. Even the ones where he didn't get the stoppage, he looked impressive. I'm really high on this kid, and I think this kid has a future in the sport of boxing. The second one we're going to talk about is Jared Anderson. Now, doing research for this video, it blew my mind. For whatever reason, I thought Jared Anderson was like 25, 26. I thought he was like an older guy, who picked up boxing late, maybe was a football player. Because, he's big. This guy's huge, but he's a little soft. Like he doesn't have like a 6-pack or nothing like that. And I just figured he was probably like a former football player, didn't make it to the NFL and transferred over to boxing. But, the kid's 22. 22 years old, 240 pounds, I believe, 250 pounds. Huge guy, got a bunch of swagger. He fought 4 times, all 4 by knockout, and his record as a whole is 11-0 with 11 knockouts. So the guy has legit power. He fought 2 fighters with 1 loss, 1 fighter with 2 losses, and 1 undefeated fighter, and knocked all of them out. You know what I'm saying? He had 3 second-round knockouts, 1 6th-round knockout. So it's like, this guy's getting them out of there and getting them out of there quick. Again, I was there at the Madison Square Garden, the same undercard of the Lomachenko Comey undercard. And I came away super impressed with how fast he was. He came out in the opening round southpaw, then in the second round, switched orthodox and got the knockout. A very impressive knockout where his legs kind of locked up a little bit. The guy got up. He was too wobbly, and the referee stopped the fight, had the Garden going crazy, came in the ring with a pimp suit. The guy has swagger. The guy has just something you can't put your finger on, but I'm really, really high on Jared Anderson, and I hope that he's the next great American heavyweight, because I feel like he's good for boxing. He's from Toledo, Ohio, normal city in the middle of America. He has a lot of charisma, has swag, is promoted by Top Rank, who has a business deal with ESPN, the worldwide leader of sports, and he's managed by James Prince. This kid has a potential to be a superstar, but today, in today's right now, he has a potential of being prospect of the year, and that's why I'm talking about him on this video. The last one I want to talk about is somebody who I've mentioned on my live specifically a lot. Now, I haven't necessarily made a lot of videos about him, but I've talked about him on my live. And that's David Morrell in the super middleweight division, man. He only fought twice. He was 2-0 with 2 knockouts. But if you look at his competition, he fought an undefeated fighter, knocked him out in the first round. And then he fought Alton X Fox, who had 2 losses and a draw, and knocked him out in the 4th round where his father stopped the fight. Some people think there was an early stoppage. The point is, he was going to get that stoppage anyways. But going off what David Morrell, what impressed me so much in that last fight he had against Alton X Fox was how calm and relaxed he was when he was coming, just relaxing, punching, and coming forward, and boom, 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 and boom, boom, boom. I'm like, man, this guy looks so confident, like, I'm going to knock this guy out. Like, at no point did he look scared or worried what Fox had for him. And to me, That's impressive as anything as I saw in terms of the other two prospects that I mentioned. Neither of them look as calm, as in charge in the ring as David Morrell. And that's just me being honest. But I thought, again, he's somebody who I also thought was older. I thought he came to this country from Cuba, at an older age after spending a whole bunch of years in Cuba. And that's not the case. He's only 23 years old. This guy's a baby in the boxing world. This guy has potential to be something great. And I see that in all three of these fighters. Now, we've gotten to the point where I've talked about all three fighters and the year they had and who's the prospect of the year. And I'm going to have to go Jared Anderson, man. I came away really, really impressed with Jared Anderson. Maybe I'm being biased because he's a heavyweight. Maybe I'm being biased because he showed a lot of swag, came in a pimp suit, and scored a really impressive knockout. Somebody I also saw live, although I did see Zayas live as well. But yeah, if I had to rank them off the guys I just mentioned, I would go number 1, Jared Anderson, number 2, David Morrell, and number 3, Xander Zayas. But if you have that in any order, I'm not going to debate you. I like all three of these guys. I'm very high on. They're very good, talented fighters. And all three are being pushed the right way. Nobody's being put in too tough. Dave Morrell has definitely faced a tougher competition out of the two, but it's because he has so much experience from his Cuban background. And he's passing it with flying colors. And they're going to keep progressing him like this. And maybe when he's 10, 12, and 0, he'll get a title shot. That's how good this guy is. And as far as Jared Anderson, he's, there's boxing and there's heavyweight boxing. They're going to move him carefully, but they're going to move him smart and impressive and put him on the right type of undercards like they did again when they did with the Lomachenko fight. And Xander Zayas is only 19. He's about 2-3 years away before he's getting a title shot. He needs to develop a little bit more. And again, you're 19. You haven't even gotten your man strength. But what we've seen in terms of speed and power, as far as us boxing fans, we're super impressed, and everybody I know is high on his potential, as well as the other two I just mentioned. But all right, guys, that's my video. Let me know in the comment section who you have as prospect of the year. I know there's a million fighters who you guys maybe think I'm bugging out by leaving out, but I had to narrow it down to 3. Please comment in the comment section who I missed out, or even if you agree with who's my prospect of the year, comment in the comment section as far as, who I missed out that I didn't mention that maybe I could have had in my top 3, top 5, top 10. But all right, guys, I go live every single Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. It's a live call-in show. So if I said anything you disagree with and you want to have a word with me, just call in. I'm with all the smoke. So if you want to argue, debate, ask a question, whatever you want to do, I'm with it. But all right, guys, until next time, peace.